Welcome to the latest edition of Millennial Boom with Diane Faith and Stanley Roberts, where almost no subject is off limits. Now, here are your hosts, Boomer Diane Faith and Millennial at Heart, Stanley Roberts.
We're live.
Hello.
And Gabriel, my mom is actually here, but
her union card expired.
And not joining us. Oh, we are blurry.
Yeah, for some reason, our camera is sending us back as being blurry. We can't control it. We try to fix it.
That's weird. Okay, well, anyways, you guys can kind of see us, so... No, I think we can see us.
Yeah, we can see us, just that I look fuzzy. You look nice and crisp clean. I think I'm just fuzzy.
Oh, we both look blurry on here, so...
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear.
So, happy
Day.
Game 3 Warriors Day. Warriors are now in Dallas playing the Mavs in about an hour, so that is why we're on early. Thanks to this one for coming up with the idea.
Mira says we're fine. We're not blurry.
Oh, okay.
Maybe blurry to us.
Maybe just blur. Maybe it's our eyes. We should get them checked.
Yeah, well, I checked. They were still there this morning.
Oh, yeah. And you're wearing glasses, too.
Maybe. By the way, you didn't actually start Millennial Boom because of the pandemic. Because you two started 2 months before the pandemic started.
Well, we actually started it 2 months before they declared it a pandemic. But COVID was already a thing in China in December. We started in January. And yes, it was declared a pandemic on March 11th of 2020.
Right. So it's still...
by World Health Organization.
Yeah, so technically it's still the pandemic. It just was the pre-pandemic.
Yes. We had no idea what we were expecting. But why did we start it then?
For mental health. So that we knew we were going to be... We heard about the lockdowns. We knew there were lockdowns going on. And we wanted to make sure that we communicated. We wanted to do something that was creative and talk to people.
Okay.
And keep ourselves out there.
Well, here we are 2 years later. 2 years and 3 months.
Oh, see? So Mira says you look soft. So, yeah, I am soft.
Oh.
We can't figure it out. We've tried.
He's a big softie.
We've tried to wipe the camera. We've tried to wipe everything.
That
I know. I don't know. I can't fix it.
I honestly think it could be a mixture of the camera and the fact that we're going on earlier.
Yeah,
so we're backlit because normally it's darker in here at the time we normally go on. So, yeah. Thanks, Jace. Jace says happy 100, Stanley and Diane. And then, yes, Gabriel says because we want to start something new. And our blinds are actually closed, Radar.
Normally, we don't normally do this.
Yeah.
This time of day, but the sun is just like, screw you, I'm going to
cover
it up.
They're closed, but we do have this section like at the top where
we can't do anything about it.
Yeah, we can't do anything about that.
And we used to put black tarp up when we did them in the other rooms.
That's right, yeah.
But we don't, we decided that no more black tarp. But 100 episodes.
Yeah, 100 episodes.
And we've had our ups and downs.
We sure have.
We broke up 6 times.
We did? I thought it was 8.
Maybe it was 8. We broke up 8 times. 4 on air, 2 afterwards.
That's 6.
Yeah. And the other 2, I don't remember. It was a blur like the screen.
When did we actually break up?
Well, we didn't. You got to go with this.
Oh, okay.
You have to know how to go with stuff.
Oh, my fault. Well, I mean,
I try to tell a joke.
I'm so honest.
I try to tell a joke, and she's so busy over there going, I'm like, it's a joke. Let it be a joke. I can't tell a joke around her because I couldn't, like, if I got pulled over by the cops, and the cop be like, excuse me, sir. You know you're speeding, and I was like, I don't think I was speeding. She said, oh no, he knew he was speeding, officer.
No, I wouldn't be that bad. Gordon says black tarp matters.
Well, look, stay with us anyway. I know that we have a little bit of blurry and
I'm a little bit of shiny right now. The light is literally on my face.
I'm a little bit country.
Wait, so looking back at a comment, Jason says, can you talk a bit about the video of you in 1998. I couldn't even recognize you. What video is that?
That was the video of my a couple of months working at Kron.
Is that the one where you were talking about
the
earpieces?
Yes. It wasn't. Oh my God.
The eyepieces?
Eyepiece. Big difference.
The eyepieces?
Yes.
I didn't understand what you're saying. I thought you were saying IFBs.
No. So my old news operation manager, Don Sharp, texted me one morning and said, look what I found. It was a video of me when I was at Kron. I started Kron in 98, in August of 98. That picture was taken sometime in 99. So I wasn't even a year at Kron yet.
So hot.
And that was me talking And then of course everybody goes, "Oh, Suge Knight, no."
I think it
Ice
looks.
Cube,
I think
no.
it definitely looks like you.
Yeah, well, whatever. And people go, "Oh, you haven't aged a bit." Hello, D-Man. So there we go.
What's this monkey business?
Yeah, monkeypox.
Oh gosh, like we need another disease.
So I read an article this morning, and I'm not going to get into theories and what. It was an investigative piece claiming that monkeypox. You ready for this? Was another. I mean, we knew that it was in Africa and it hadn't really spread much, but that it was a virus that was released from Wuhan facility. That was an investigative piece that was floating around on Twitter, and so here we go again.
The false information.
No, we don't know if it's false. We don't know anything about it. We just know that's the article that
I gotta make sure I show this. Why are you shaking your head? You're the one that got this for me.
No, I know, but I'm like, you'll see me go, "Oh, yeah."
Well, that's because you're not wearing 76er stuff.
Because they're not in the playoffs. But you don't see me go, "Oh, yeah."
Even more reason to rep them.
So, yeah, there's another lab leak theory, of course, Yeah, Twitter, your trusted source. It was a link to a investigative journalist article. It wasn't just like someone posting it. It was a link. I didn't read the article yet. I don't know if I am going to read it, but maybe it may be worth reading to see what I get out of it, if anything. But I posed a question on Twitter. It was a very simple question, and it was a thought-provoking question. The question was, if, and Gabriel will correct me because I'll say it wrong, of course, but if monkeypox was COVID-19 when that started, would we still have the same arguments we're having today? That we were having and we are having, things like masks and what do you call it? The
vaccines.
The vaccines. Would we still have that same mentality? And the comments are pretty interesting. If you were to read it on my Twitter, it's interesting that you have both sides saying yes and no.
Okay.
What are the really arguing it? They're arguing that not arguing. They're saying that one side saying yes, it would still be the same because politicians would be involved, and it would if they screwed it up, then it would be back where we started.
So they're blaming it on the actions from politics.
The other side is saying that it's since monkeypox is a visual. I know I hate the name. I mean,
no, it's the way you say it.
Yeah, monkeypox. If you, what I'm looking for, it's a visual thing. So COVID wasn't visual. You had a cough.
You can't tell right off the bat.
Tell, but if you have that, you know that
if you have monkeypox, you can visibly see it on someone.
Visibly.
Yeah.
And like I was talking to Susan, she's my business partner for Gotham by the Bay Media and our GBTV Media. And she was saying that it reminded her of a superhero character. Guy had a little, I don't know, polka dot man, which I didn't even know existed until
there's a character called Polka Dot Man. I didn't even know that.
It looks like we lost mommy tweets. Yeah, I read that. And,
who's mommy mean tweets? I don't follow. I guess I don't follow.
She's on Twitter, and I don't know. I think she follows me too. How people. Okay, so I don't discriminate on people who follow me. I have all spectrums of followers. I don't engage in politics. I try not to. Obviously, there's some things I enter into the arena with, even though I want to or not. But I try not to get into the deep politics, like one calling a different group a different name. I try to avoid those because that's just like a giant vacuum. Once you get in there, it's kind of hard to get out, and then you can't really say you're objective if you're liking this one or liking that one. It's funny that liking tweets was supposed to be a way to acknowledge that you read it. And
I never thought that. You were the one that brought that to my attention. I always thought liking tweets was, oh, you liked what that person said. And that would seem logical because you like, but remember a long time ago when you were kids and something was bad and you was like, oh my God, that's bad? That's terrible? No, bad is good. Oh, yeah. Do you know how we take words? Man, that's bad. But it also depends on how you say it. Remember your friend, one that you called Tiny, and he was like big at the house? And then you had your guy called Biggie, and he was like little, except for Biggie. It was always the opposite. It was always the opposite? Yeah. So I read the original concept for likes, and it wasn't that you liked the actual tweet. It was supposed to mean that you read it,
and that you acknowledge that the person wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
However, it became a weapon because if you started liking things, people would go back into history and go, well, he liked a lot of this stuff as it relates to XYZ. And what XYZ was something that was considered a negative connotation.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were losing their jobs over liking stuff.
Yeah, I remember that, especially during election season or during the like height of the pandemic.
Yes.
But my question is that how it is for all platforms, or is that just Twitter? Because you have on Facebook, you have likes.
Well, remember,
even on
on
Instagram,
on YouTube,
you have likes.
You have dislikes.
Right. But Facebook, you have likes, you don't have dislikes. Instagram, you have likes with the hearts, but there are no dislikes. So it's like, if you like a picture, are you just acknowledging it, or do you actually like the picture?
I'll tell you what I do on Twitter. Because I get so many comments, I go through them and I actually read most of the comments. I do. I'm not going to lie and say I don't read them, even though people say you should ignore them. I read them, and if I read them, I will put a heart next to it. But sometimes it's so, what's what I'm looking for? The tweet is so against what I believe in
Mm-hmm.
that I don't like it, or I'll respond to it and say, hey, why'd you what WTF? Or
Yeah.
Because it's better than me going, oh yeah, I liked it. And I never liked, okay. And so here's another version of liked. And I'm going to answer a question that Radar wrote. Hey, V. John. Hey, Radar, I'm going to answer your question in a minute.
Hey, boomers.
Yeah, hey, boomers. So another thing is like, here's a good example of the like and how it doesn't really work for liking.
Mm-hmm.
So you post, oh, it was a terrible day. I crashed my car. It blew up. My grandma was in the back seat. She caught on fire. They ran up. They put her out in a blanket. She has like 5-degree burns over her whole body. My whole family is hurt. And somebody goes, oh, I like that.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I've seen posts where I'm like, gosh, that's such a horrible story. I'm like, but then I've seen like 13,000 people have liked it, and I'm like,
they like the fact that your grandma just burned up in the back of a car.
Yeah, so then I get confused. But then now that you explain how it works for Twitter, then that makes it sound like that's how it works for all platforms.
Well, like Jason wrote, Twitter is unique. There's no other platform like Twitter. So if you like something, it's not really, okay, in my opinion, because some people will believe likes being that you like it. Mm-hmm. I just got shot 18 times. Oh, I like that. Thumbs up. Yeah, get shot again. No, it's more like you read it, acknowledgement that you read it. And I think maybe a heart is probably a bad option.
Yeah, but the thumbs up is not that great either, because it almost seems like, so should it be like a check mark?
A red dot.
Not a check mark.
It's a dot.
Okay.
Take the heart away, make it a dot.
Just make it.
I dot that.
Just make it a circle.
That says I read it.
Or just have a logo that says red.
Or red. Yeah.
Or just the color red.
So Radar 2022 asked me a question: when will you be doing more People Behaving Badly segments? So here is my answer to that. I've been back and forth working on getting back to the Bay. Number one, looking at looking at places to live, which is a unique challenge because
you didn't find that funny, huh?
When I see a place that's listed, by the time I can reach out to the person to find out if it's still available, they have 7 people who already have it listed already, have wanted it.
Or show interest.
And here's something interesting more. So when I did a search for apartments, a reasonable priced apartment, I got a notification from one of the websites I use that you need to make $147,000 a year to afford this apartment.
Oh, wow.
No, so
now they're giving you the numbers
of what you should make, and if you can't prove you make that kind of money, they will not rent to you. That is craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. If you cannot prove that you're making 147 or above for a simple 2-bedroom apartment, they will not rent to you. They won't even take your application.
Unfortunately, that sounds a little bit too much like San Francisco.
Well,
and no, it's not San Francisco, but the Bay Area.
As a whole.
Yeah.
Right. And you're judged when you show up. So they're expecting one person and you show up and it's not the person they expect. You can tell by the look on their face that they're not who you expected you to be.
Did that happen to you?
It did. I'm not going to go into details, but yes, it did happen. And all of a sudden they shut down and said, we're no longer renting. It's been taken.
When did that happen?
I'll tell you more about it. So if people haven't badly copyrighted, well, it is copyrighted by me, but it was taken by someone else. However, I don't need the name to be what I do. So just stick around. We're working on Gotham SF. We've been working on that. We're still building everything to get everything moving in the right direction. And at some point, we will begin doing a lot more stuff with a more in-depth, with a hopefully a larger team. So it's not easy trying to build a platform. It's hard and it's expensive and it's
an
a lot
undertaking.
of rotating. It's a lot of wheels in motion, and the wheels that rotate don't always come together and meld right away.
Don't always go in the same direction.
They always go in the same direction, exactly. So when the wheels don't go the same direction, it creates slower issues. Things slow down, things speed up. It all depends. I just tell you this: that I was there for 4 days last week, meetings, discussing things, trying to get things moving. So bear with me. We're working on it. Is that fair enough?
That's fair enough.
Okay. So now something else I did today. I know, here's a doozy: buy a camper and it's rent free. Yeah, I'm good on that one. But another thing I told today is
you still got to spend money though.
Yeah, I tweeted
to buy one.
I tweeted out today that here's something you know. My phone doesn't ding, does it?
No.
Except for a text message or it rings or somebody calls me. Other than that, it's quiet. Why?
Because you have it on Do Not Disturb?
No.
Oh, because no one calls you.
I'm talking about text messages, like notifications.
Because you don't have subscribed. You don't have any notifications.
So
set.
I get nasty grams from Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all of them. They like, oh, you need to turn your notifications. I'm like, not now. Oh, you need to turn them on. So it's a mental thing. If you have them on, that's why you hear ding, ding, and you become a slave to your phone.
Yeah. And
it's not good for your mental health to have your notifications on full blast all the time. And the amount of notifications I would get if I did that would be, we wouldn't be able to sleep. It would be ding, 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 ding.
I don't have notifications on except for your Twitter.
So now let's go back to something else. So I was in San Francisco for less than 24 hours. I literally got off the plane and I got an email. When I checked into the hotel, I checked my email, and boom, there it was. First thing I saw. And I was like, okay, I'll deal with it in the morning. But it was about a restaurant in the Mission District, 16th Valencia. I'm not going to say the name anymore, but it kind of went viral because, and I got it from a reliable source. Mm-hmm. It was very well written, a lot of details. It was a first party email. So I know who the person was. I know them. They knew me. So here's an interesting story. So listen carefully. So pay attention. Don't even text right now, because this is going to kind of a mind-blowing issue. So the issue was that there was a crash I said don't write anything and D-Man write something. There's a crash.
It's delayed though.
I know it's delayed. There was a crash at 16th Valencia, and there were 4 traffic officers, not Mission District police officers, I think. Or maybe it could have been 2 Mission Districts and 2 traffic. They were there investigating the crash. They decided to stand over an overhang because it was one of those hot days. And in San Francisco, it gets hot. 75 degrees in San Francisco is like scorching.
I think that's crazy considering that I grew up in San Francisco and I felt that way at one point too. But anyways.
But for you, it's like freezing now.
Well, now it's cold because I haven't lived in San Francisco for 10 years. For over 10 years.
In Arizona, if it gets 75 degrees, you have a parka and a hoodie.
I'm shivering. Anyways, okay, so continue.
So I said, okay, I'm going to check into this. I called, I checked a little bit more. And then the restaurant wasn't quite open yet. So there's no way to reach out to the restaurant. But I posted what I knew, the facts of the matter that I knew. Kept it simple, kept it short, kept it sweet. And of course, it kind of blew up. I don't know if it's going to blow up or not. I don't know if anybody ever sees my tweets half the time. But it blew up. And after I checked everything before I posted anything, because I wanted to make sure I got it right. Because you don't want to get it wrong when you post something like that. Mm-hmm. So somebody walked out the restaurant and told the cops that their presence there was something on the line of intimidating, and they didn't feel safe.
Like uncomfortable.
And they felt uncomfortable. Those trigger words that people say when they don't want something around. So, basically, after that happened, they moved across the street back into the sun while they were investigating the crash. Mm-hmm. So it was like, what the heck? Why? I personally would think, hey, my joke has always been, if there's 4 cops on a corner, this got to be the safest corner in wherever you are.
Because if something goes down,
they're right there.
They're right there, yeah.
But people don't have that same mindset. So here's where it gets a little interesting. So now I am driving. I literally sent the tweet, got in my car, and I drove to Half Moon Bay. In the route to Half Moon Bay, my phone rings in the car. I'm like, who is this? It was a Bay Area number. It was the owner of the restaurant.
That is so strange.
Well, it was strange to me because he goes, hey, it's...
Do you know him?
No, I don't know him. That's what's even stranger.
Okay.
That I didn't know him, but yet he was calling me directly. And his response to me was, hey, you need to take what you wrote down. I said, well, why should I take it down? He goes, because it's not really what happened. I said, okay, well, tell me what happened. Well, they weren't kicked out. They were blocking the door and they were told to move away from the door. I said, okay, and were you there? Well, no, I wasn't there, but I was told this is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you were told this is what happened, but you weren't actually there. So how do you know that what you were told was correct? Because they're telling me the correct story. And I need you to take it down because it's literally costing me business. My Yelp is getting one star ratings on Yelp. And
so your one tweet,
my one tweet
started giving him one star Yelp reviews?
On Yelp reviews. That one tweet.
That you just tweeted like how long ago?
Like half an hour ago. And I couldn't call the restaurant because it wasn't even open yet. I couldn't even call them to say, hey, what's going on? But it was a story where I think we will get to the bottom of it. And so he says, well, I talked to Tracy at San Francisco police officer's POA, and she said that she was taking it down because, maybe they got it wrong.
So she had posted it on Twitter also.
She shared what I posted.
Oh,
so
okay.
It wasn't her tweet. She took down her comment.
Yeah.
I called Tracy because I don't think he knew that we communicated.
Mm-hmm.
I said, hey, Tracy, what's going on? She said, well, I took it down only because I'm going to give him a chance to talk. But if it turns out what he said to me is incorrect, I'm going to put it back up again.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to meet at 3. Ironically, I ran into the 2 of the people that were involved in it.
In Half Moon Bay?
On my way to Half Moon Bay. They were doing a escort for a funeral escort.
Okay.
And I was like, wait, what are the odds? So I talked to them both separately. And I said, I wanted to find out what they had to say. If they thought they got it wrong, then it would be for me to go back and say, okay, it was a mistake made. I apologize for the tweet, but it was made, and and I'll take the hit for it. Because I don't mind taking a hit if I'm wrong. But I don't normally post something and it's wrong. I usually look it over, double check it. Because when I get it wrong, I get like a waterfall of hate mail.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God. Oh, how bad the mighty fall. I'm like, I got a parking ticket once. And the mighty has fallen. I'm like, dude, it's a parking ticket.
It's not like you're perfect or anything.
Yeah, I never.
You would hope he would be perfect, but he's not.
I talked to him separately, and they both told me the same story. Nothing was deviated from it, that they were not blocking the entrance, that they were just minding their business, doing the thing, trying to stay out of the shade, and the person came out and said what they said. So then 3 o'clock, the meeting came, and I wasn't part of the meeting. I was in Half Moon Day, looking around, trying to enjoy some fresh ocean. Because out here, there's no ocean.
There's no ocean.
There's no ocean.
There's no ocean.
It's like 1,000,000 trillion degrees. So you go out there to get some fresh air.
And I wouldn't even call the air out here fresh, even though people will say, let's get some fresh air. And I'm like, it's like 115 degrees. How is this air fresh?
Yeah, so I know. So it's 64 degrees. It's beautiful. I decided to go to Fisher Barbara's Fish Trap.
Okay. I've never tried that place before.
I've never been to it either because they never took credit cards. They only took cash.
Okay.
But now they take credit cards. I think the pandemic changed everything. The pandemic. So I went there and ordered some. And while I'm sitting there, it's like after I did all the walking around and driving around, it was 3:45. I get a text message remember David Perry?
Oh, yeah. The same one with the restaurant.
The last restaurant?
Yes.
With an apology from the other restaurant.
The restaurant owner?
Yeah.
But the one that called
who told me that it didn't happen now is saying that it actually happened and that he apologized.
The other restaurant? Or this one?
No, this one. The one that was in Valencia.
Is that how he got your phone number?
No.
Oh.
He got my phone number because he called one of his friends who was a friend of mine and told him the story that it wasn't true. So his friend, thinking that, oh my God, there's been
needs to be corrected.
a erroneous piece of information out there, needs to be corrected. I'll give you his number.
So the restaurant owner called back and actually said it did happen that way.
Well, the email that he put out, the apology, said he apologized, and according to what happened in the actual interview, the girl who said that started crying and said that she did say it, and that because he wasn't there. She said it, and she did it tearfully and said that she said it. So they all passed it up and took a picture, which I posted on Twitter.
So my question is, to the worker that initially said it, did she say it on behalf of customers, or she said it on behalf of herself?
Well, that's where we believe she said it on behalf of herself.
Okay.
But she said customers and herself didn't feel comfortable.
Okay.
And then there's a case of the owner who's saying that he is pro this and pro that, so this shouldn't have happened. And again, I didn't post it with the intention of him getting 1-star reviews. That's a byproduct.
Well, whether or not you're pro this or pro that, I feel like that's kind of irrelevant. It's like if these cops are actually posing a threat, okay, fine, voice your opinion. But if they're actually not, then why would you say that?
Well, unfortunately, there is this time of day, there's been this whole anti-law enforcement attitude.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because everything that happened like a couple of years back.
Well, yeah, and they there's always been that anti. There's both sides: pro-police, anti-police. And I think that people think that the anti-police thing works in the Bay Area, and it may, but it doesn't always work. It sometimes backfires. I'm not here to judge what their intention were. I can only say what happened. And all I did was say what happened. I didn't say whether it was good or whether it was bad. I just said, this is what happened. And then the crowd took over from there.
Do you still have that tweet up?
Oh, I'm not going to take it down, because I've learned, and this is what I've learned, that once you put a tweet up, if you take it down, then you're admitting that you got it wrong. Because what people say is, oh, why'd you take it down? There's nothing wrong with it.
I'm not on Twitter like that, so
I put
really
up the
don't
apology.
know.
And so now you can make your own decision.
Yeah, I'm not on Twitter like that, so I really don't know how
Twitter
that works.
is a different animal all by itself. And I used to call Twitter, it's a dog pile on the tweet. Because if someone doesn't like a tweet, they will dog pile on you, and they will call their friends, and they will call their friends, and so on and so on and so on.
What, to dogpile?
A dog pile. To the point where you're getting tweets from people you never heard before. But there are some questions here, and I'm going to go back and answer them. So one of the questions was, what about my CCW? That's something I'll discuss.
I don't even see that one.
That one you missed.
Oh, is that Facebook?
So do I prefer Facebook or YouTube? I like YouTube.
I feel like they're so different, though.
They're different.
Like, the purpose of both of them are different.
Facebook is, I love the people on Facebook, and I have a lot of people that follow me on Facebook. I think I have something like 158,000 people on Facebook, and I equate that to like 5 baseball stadiums of people that are just yelling at, ah! And I believe that out of the 158,000 or 160,000 or whatever the number is, a lot of them just watch. They don't actually participate in the process. They just watch. But I noticed, though, that these ones that watch, they watch and they wait for me to screw up. And the minute I screw up, because I'll go from 300 tweets to 3,000 tweets in an hour if I get it wrong, or if they think I got it wrong.
Yeah, so there are really just some people out there that want you to make a mistake.
Ironically, if you post on Instagram as not a reel, but if you post on Instagram as a post, mine is connected. So it shows up on Facebook. And sometimes I post on Instagram because the audience on Instagram is different from the audience on Facebook. And I post on Instagram just so they can know, because I know their response is going to be somewhat sublime. Like, okay, I get it. But I forget that it goes on to Facebook, where
you can change that as a setting,
where the audience is a little bit different.
Yeah.
And I'll forget. I'll go there and be like 1 million comments. I'm like, oh, snap.
And then on Instagram, you have like 3
comments on Instagram, but 3 million on Facebook. And it's the irony of this is that Facebook has this thing that if you post on Instagram, it doesn't post it as one whole post.
Oh, I know.
It literally
it's
puts
confusing.
a picture by itself with no context. So one day, this one picture showed up with 0 context. And oh my God, the rafts of all the people that's chilling in the background came to the front with bullhorns and was telling me how effed up I was. And I couldn't figure out what I did wrong. And then I realized it wasn't me. It was Facebook.
Oh my gosh, your voice.
And Facebook decided to split it up with no context of the other pictures. All right. Didn't SFPD posted their own thoughts on this matter and removed it? Yes, that is SFPOA. And they did, but they took it down and then they got back. Okay. Why are you taping?
No,
Where are you taping these days? I'm going to be taping back in the base soon. We're working on it. But right now, Diane's mom's in town. And Brooke is graduating from high school. And she has prom. So I need to tend to family matters before I get into anything else. Because family is first.
It's numero uno.
Numero uno. Thank you.
You're funny.
And right now we're in Phoenix.
We are in
Phoenix. Our beautiful.
We are in Phoenix representing the Bay.
I'm from the Bay, y'all. Sideshows randomly. Okay, where we at?
Stanley Roberts.
Well, next time you read Dr. Seuss as Dr. Dre, we'll
No, there's no Dr. Seuss there.
No,
it just
next
says,
time you read Doctor as Dr. Dre.
Yes, we'll make sure that
make sure
150
that
people come for you.
Cool.
You know, you did say Dr. Seuss though, right? Like, there's no Seuss.
You know why? Because that book we saw yesterday, Dr. Seuss book at the bus.
Oh yeah,
stuck in my head.
Okay.
So congratulations, I didn't go to my high school prom though. So ironically, my daughter, I'm living my life vicariously through my daughter. Because my I never went to prom.
Oh, by the way, I'm not his daughter.
Not my daughter. I never went to prom. It was against my religion when I was growing up. We couldn't go to prom, so I never had that experience. So my daughters, I'm not going to let them deprive them of something that is kind of a part of life.
Will you go with me to prom? Will you be my prom date? I'll take you. I'll take you to my high school reunion as my prom date. My high school reunion's this year, so.
Can you see it? It's blurry, but I'll check a bit closer. There we go. I got this from Susan. It's my Batman caricature, which it's pretty cool. I'm not going to take out the box because I'm going to keep it in the box. But thank you, Susan. I love it. I'm going to put it in wherever my office may be.
Jason asked, how does the story end with the police and the manager and owner?
They all shook hands and came out. He apologized, and I posted the apology on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram because I shared it through the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I moved on, but I had to explain it because it's hard to explain it on social media. It's easier to explain it when you do it like I'm talking to you and telling people what really went down.
Well, social media, you have to type it.
But it was strange. And then so once somebody went on the line and said, well, your number is probably on social, it's probably on the web. And so they went through and showed you 9 things of my number, but none of them were mine. And so then someone came back to me and said, I know where the number came from. I'm not going to, I'm not here to roll buses over type of people, but if you misrepresent something and your friend genuinely thinks that it's a misrepresentation, they want to do something to fix it. So they give them the number to call me. But it was just strange that this person who I don't know from a can of paint called me while I'm in,
Can of paint.
I always say that. Don't know from a can of paint. So it's factual the cops did not, in fact, stand in front of the door and the manager messed up. Yes, that appears to be what happened. Oh, wow, look at that. I'm on an angle.
You are?
Yeah, see? Like that picture.
That reminds me of this reminds me of.
Oh, look at that! It's trying to focus.
I know. I saw that as a straight. Do you have a weird setting on?
No, I don't have any setting.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a hat. Let me see. No. Wow, I look blurrier. Blurrier. Oh, come back over here. You made me. There we go.
Should we just do it like this then? Okay, so we look a lot. We don't look as blurry anymore.
We look like conjoined twins.
Conjoined twins. So. Oh, you weren't supposed to tell me when you were moving.
Oh, okay, my bag.
Your bag?
Yes, my mom used to say, my bag. I'm like, Mom, it's my bag, not my bag.
My bag.
My bag.
Okay, so do you ever run into people you interview when you were on People Behaving Badly, says Radar?
On a regular basis. And most of them are pretty, you know what? I'm really polite to people. I have this reputation of being this really mean guy.
You're so not mean.
I am the opposite of really mean.
You're like a teddy bear.
I'm only mean if what?
If someone does something,
If you disrespect me, I will become your worst nightmare. But I am polite to people. I'm always saying hello. I'm always saying, how are you doing? How's the family? But yet, and ironically, most people are rude to me on social media. And they meet me in real life because I'm not a really...
Because they have a perception of
I'm not a really tiny guy. So I think when they go, oh, snap, they realize I'm a bigger guy than they think. And, So then they're a little bit different, and they'll tell me, you did me on, you got me on your show, and and you know what, I learned something from that, and I appreciate it, and I thank you for being so nice to me. I'm like, that's fine. But irony, some website called boingboing.net, I know, Boing Boing, has been posting a lot of my stuff in like old, but they make it go viral again. So I've been going viral, even though I have nothing to do with it. I don't get, again, they're making viral, they're making money. I am not.
Boingboing.net.
Yeah, boingboing.net. They posted several.
That is so weird.
So it's weird seeing the videos that are posted, and I know that they're making money off it because it's going viral on their page. That's why they keep posting more. And again, someone making money off of the work that I did, and I get nothing out of it. I'm not saying that I need to be paid, but I need to be paid.
But it would be nice.
It would be nice.
It would be nice, especially since you do hard work.
This reminds me, can you tell us the whole story of the time you got into a physical fight with hippies in Berkeley? Yeah. Oh. Because that was another story that was twisted around that was against me.
Of course, it always is.
So the state, and let me say this for a second before I get into that story. I would tell the station on a regular basis, I can cover this story, but there's going to be ramifications if I do. So I can go out and do it, and you may get viewers, but it's going to come back to haunt you. They don't believe me. They go, no, go do it. And that was the case of the time when the parking enforcement was using their own tickets. They're doing stuff to keep getting tickets. And I said, look, I got this on video. It's a great story, but I'm letting you know that if we do this story, it's going to have side effects. They didn't care about the side effects because it didn't affect them, so they thought. They said, do it. So I did the story the best I could. And the rafts of every parking enforcement officer in San Francisco came down with a vengeance where they wrote tickets for crime, for vehicles, for everything that wasn't tied down. They literally got $1,000 for tickets the first day after the story aired. So, so now back to the story about Berkeley. So the tip was that people couldn't go shopping anymore at certain parts of Berkeley because there were these guys that were just harassing people, begging for money, yada, yada, yada. It's, in the main drag, and the police are probably going to crack down at some point. Why don't you go out there and see how bad it is? Okay. So I go out and I ask around because I don't just go out and start shooting people. I don't go and go, are you a bad person? Are you a bad person? And I went to this one store and this lady was there. She was very nice. And I said, so tell me about they call them hippies that were sitting around. Oh yeah, they're really nice people. If you go talk to them, they'll be really polite to you because they're always polite to me and they would love to talk to you. So that was a trap.
You didn't think it was a trap at the time.
I didn't think a trap. I'm thinking I'm getting good information.
Because I was going to say, her, like, no one ever describes that as a thing. Like, that sounds like a trap.
Yeah. So I walk over and hey, what's going on? How you guys doing? And they were, oh, we're fine. And I'm like, okay. And we're chit-chatting. And I'm like, well, I'm going to do a little interview with you guys. And one of the guys said, sure, I'm going to do an interview. So I do the interview with him. And I started asking questions. And someone else decided they didn't like the line of questioning I had. And so he decides that he wants to, first he bumps me. And I'm like,
is that the same one with the pole? Was that a different
No. You're thinking about the other guy.
That
was in Berkeley. No, that was in the Haight. The guy with the fishing poles.
That was in Berkeley?
That was the Haight.
Wait, why am I thinking that was Berkeley?
No, Berkeley was a group that. So it came down to one of the guys decided that he was going to body check me in the middle of the interview. He hardcore body checked me. And I realized that he spun me around. And remember I told you that
While you were still holding the camera.
Still shooting video. And remember I told you how I'm a nice guy until I become a different person?
Yeah.
So the next thing I know was I had the guy up in one hand, up in the arm, because I had the camera in the other hand. So camera in this hand, left hand, he's up in the air. His feet are off the ground. And I'm like, what are you doing? And they realized that I'm holding him up in the air with one hand. They decided that they're going to go and help and save their friend from me protecting myself. Because literally he's off the ground like this, feet off the ground, about that far off. And then they decided they were going to dogpile on me. And so I ran for about 20 feet because I need to get away from the crowd, because if you're in the crowd, then they get you and you're done. And I turned around and they were going to start swinging on me, but they didn't have enough, the word chutzpah, to keep coming at me. So what they did was they saw me turn around and come back towards them, because at this point I realized that if I don't become the aggressor, they're going to become. I'm going to get the crap kicked out of me. It's like if you run from a bear, the bear's going to chase you and beat you and maul you, or a cat, or wherever it is that you're supposed to run from, or you're not supposed to run from, because they think you're a prey. I ran back towards them, and then all of a sudden they freaked out.
Mm-hmm.
So I called 911, and I said, hey, I just got attacked. Can you get the officers out here? And I said code 3 because I know I work with cops, and I know that code 3 means in a hurry. My camera's already broke. It was broke to pieces. A $5,000 camera shattered. And everybody, those guys all dispersed. They took off.
Right. They knew that you called the cops.
They knew, and they took off. But a couple of witnesses pointed him out. One of them tried to sit down he tried to sit down.
Like he had nothing to do with it. He was a witness.
Whatsoever.
You ID'd him?
Yeah. So, and basically, that's how it turned out. The police came in. Now, here's the craziest part. So I was attacked for trying to do my job, and social media went crazy with it. And went to court. His judges, one of the kids apparently was a son of a really rich person, even though he was a hippie, a bum, one of those guys hanging on the street.
Mm-hmm.
Really rich. So they didn't want him to go into trouble. So they did whatever they couldn't to get him out of trouble. They hired him a high-priced lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
My station didn't even send a lawyer to cover me. I had to go on my own.
Wow.
They wouldn't even send me a lawyer to back me on this. I was on my own on that. And it turns out that they ended up getting probation, and that was it. So it was like the system failed me as a victim.
Oh my gosh.
And the guy with this pole.
Well, and your station failed you as a victim too, because
Yes.
they didn't even have your back, and they're the ones that sent you on the story.
Exactly.
Well, so here's the thing. If you don't ever work at that place, like no one should ever work there then.
Well, I'm not going to disperse them about who should work there. That's their own decisions.
Well, they don't have your back.
But that's what happened. And the one with the talking about the ski poles. Now that was interesting because literally dude shoved the poles to the camera and shared the lens. And I called the station to say, hey, I just got attacked. Their response was, hey, can you hold on? We're right in the middle of a meeting. And I said,
man, that really pisses me off.
And I said, do you guys realize I just got attacked? Oh, well, you should have said that in the very beginning. I said I couldn't.
Who answered the phone?
I'm not going to say names because they're still.
No, you'll tell me later.
I'll tell you later. So that was that story. And I mean, I knew I had to defend it for myself.
It really makes me upset.
No, don't. It is what it is.
No, I know, but I just.
And then there's the 12. That. There's the 12 different times that the cops called on me.
I remember the 281.
The 281 was the funniest one because
you were with the cops.
I was with the cops, and they called the cops.
Yeah.
Imagine being with the cops.
They thought you were holding them at gunpoint.
The call went out. I'm with I can't think of his name right now. He's retired. He had a first name and his last name. So Vu Williams.
Mm-hmm.
So Vu and I were out in the White Ghost, which is called the all-white CHP car, brand new when we started doing the hands-free.
Mm-hmm.
It still was kind of like working on the whole. I was not checking on time. It's still working on the whole process of cars being hands-free, so they can communicate without touching the radio, so to make it safer for them.
Yeah.
So we do a traffic stop for a speeder on 280, and we're standing out there. We're doing the thing. We're doing the interview. We're doing the whole thing. I guess the car drove away. So then he was talking to me on camera for a second. Someone called 911 and said there was a BMA, black male adult, holding a CHP officer at gunpoint on the 280 freeway. And so every cop in that general vicinity is driving around code 3 trying to find this officer being held at gunpoint. We realized it was us because we had already gotten back in the car.
Yeah, because did you hear the call when
we heard the call when it came out.
Yeah.
And because it's the new hands-free car, the computer had an encryption error.
Uh-huh.
So nothing was working. And he tried to call dispatch, and it was like we were having
to tell them that was you guys?
That it was us, so he had to pull over and reboot the whole car. Literally had to reboot the whole car and tell them that it was not anyone being held at gunpoint. It was, I have a ride-along, and it's me. So they literally called 911. And so in San Bruno, someone called and said that I was videotaping little kids. So 6 San Bruno cops showed up.
6?
6, because I was videotaping little kids.
They really needed 6?
I got a call in over by, what's that BART station?
Glen Park,
because a guy called 911 and said that I was staking out a bank. He came over to confront me and told me that.
Oh, yeah, the one right across the street?
He knows that I'm trying to rob the bank and that he already called 911, even though I showed him my credentials. Wait, but I got the best one ever. You want to hear this one?
No, because they all just make me upset.
No, this one is in Sonoma with Sonoma Sheriff. Not a good one.
I know it's gonna make me upset, right?
Okay.
Are you
Hello,
telling
Betty. So the Sonoma one was even crazier because Highway Patrol Marin District called me and said, "Hey, Stanley,
I'm highly disturbed, by the way.
there is a block up in Sonoma County that people go around they have the humps, speed humps, so they go around it to avoid it. Could you go up there and you can sit up on the hill, you can shoot down, and you can shoot it all. You can get all of it, and you can show what they're doing." So I get there early in the morning because that's when people drive to work, and sure enough, they're going around. And I'm sitting there in my car shooting from the window, so you don't see me, so you don't make because they see the camera. Sometimes they have different ideas, and this lady is walking her dog with a friend. And now I'm in the middle of an area that isn't really common for the brothers. It ain't a normal area for somebody like me. She walks her dog, and I say to myself, if I don't say hello, she's going to think there's something going on. And
I think it's crazy that you even have to think that.
And I said, "Good morning." And she says, "Good morning." And I go, "Yeah, she going to call 911. I already know it, right? I already knew what was going to happen." That's why now when I go to cities, I call in advance. And I'm going to be here. You're going to get a call. It's going to be me. Do not, So anyway, about 5 minutes later, remember, I can see the street from up above. I see a Sonoma County Sheriff turn the corner, and then I see a second one turn the corner. And I go, "Here we go." Sure enough, they come up the hill, and they do the whole, officer safety issue where one is on the car and one's over here in case I decide to do something crazy, and they light me up, which means. And so he comes to me and he says, "How you doing, Sonoma County Sheriff Deputy? I need to see your driver's license and registration." I said, "I'm not really driving, but I have my press credentials. I'm with Cron 4. I'm doing a story here." And I showed him my credentials. I held it to him, and it says, the credentials say San Francisco Police Department on them because they get them from the San Francisco Police Department. So it shows you legit credentials. He said, "I need to see your driver's license and registration." And I said, "Oh, you're really running me for wants and warrants?" He goes, "Sir, I need to see your driver's license and registration." So I said, "Oh, well, I'm going to record this because nobody's going to believe this." His response to me was, "If you start recording this, it's going to end badly for you." Now, I'm out in the middle of nowhere, and two cops with two armed people with guns. And
Are they pointing the guns
no,
at you?
No guns out. No guns out. Don't get it mixed up.
No, I'm just asking.
No guns out. But they made it clear to me that if I turned on the camera, it was not going to end well. So I didn't turn on the camera because I don't want it to end well. Because it's my word against theirs. I'm not going. I'm not that dumb to do something stupid. I'm not going to fight you. I'm just going to let it get over. So they did the whole thing. They ran me for wants and warrants. And they wanted to check to see if I was, who I was. They came back and they said, "Well, we got a complaint that there was a suspicious-looking, a 60-year-old suspicious-looking man in a car."
Okay, first of all, they aged you?
Yeah, 60 years old.
And how many years ago was this?
I was like 45.
Oh, because of your beard.
The beard. So 60-year-old man, and that's what the call came from. Now I already knew who made the call. So when they left, it wasn't like I built a sigh of relief. It wasn't like I felt like I was going to die. So I'm not trying to play it up that much. I called the CHP back because one of my friends was Sandro Salvetti. He was, I said, "Sandro, you won't believe what just happened." He goes, "What happened? Remember that story you guys told me about up here in Sonoma County?" He goes, "Yeah. Well, they called the cops, and I told him the whole story all over again." He goes, "Please tell me you're crap. You're pulling my leg." I said, "No." About 5 minutes later, I get a phone call from Lieutenant from Sonoma County Sheriff. He was profoundly apologetic to what took place. Profoundly apologetic. And he said that the guy made some very dumb mistakes, and I want to apologize for it. And, what do I do? So then Sandro came over to hang out with me to make sure it didn't happen again. He came out in his own personal vehicle. He wasn't working. He just came out. How Toronto has a big truck. He parked up there on the top of the hill with me, and we just laughed about it. Then the lady comes back. She's walking her dog backwards. She says, "I didn't call because you were black."
So she called because you're black?
She said, "I didn't call because you're black." And what do you think I said?
I don't know.
Clearly because I was 60 years old. So she outed herself.
Yeah, she outed herself. She didn't have to say anything. She could have just walked by and ignored you.
Sandro died laughing because then he told me a story of a CHP officer a long time ago in Marin pull up. It was driving around and someone called 911 on the CHP officer. They said, and I quote, there was a black man who stole a police car
Oh my.
and a uniform and was driving around pretending to be the highway patrol.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how to respond to.
Siri said I don't know how to respond to that. Did you guys hear that? Siri just responded to that
So
story.
what do you think the CHP told him to do?
CHP told the officer
What do
to
you think they told him to do, the black officer?
I have no idea.
This was a long time ago, so
it's something. It's something really bad then.
They told him to pick a new area to patrol because obviously you're not welcome there.
Well, that's just like your station not having your back when you got attacked.
Yeah,
that's the equivalent, almost the equivalent.
So when people tell me that I'm pro this or pro that, you don't know what I experienced in my life. You don't know what I've been through. And my daughter says, every cop. I go, no, I don't. They know me though. Are all cops bad? They are not. Are all cops good? Not every single cop is good.
It's just like humans. Not all humans are good. Not all humans are bad.
Cops are humans. They're not super robots.
But that just disturbed me because so someone just sees you and automatically thinks you're a bad person based on how you look. And
Oakley, I do a story on mailbox thieves. Guy has a house right across the street from the box that gets stolen. Cameras everywhere, right? No one's seen the people stealing the mail.
He thinks you steal it.
No, he thinks no one sees anybody stealing the mail. He got cameras everywhere. I pull up. Now I had already called Oakley because I already kind of knew. Dude comes out with a gun in his waistband. He comes out of his house in Oakley with a gun in his waistband and says, "What are you doing here?" He said, "Because I saw you pull up." And I'm thinking, well, if you saw me pull up, how come you didn't see who's robbing the mailbox? You saw me pull up and I'm a threat, but the person who stopped robbing the mailbox has been doing it and you never noticed a thing. That just doesn't add up. It just doesn't add up.
Well, because it's not about the mailboxes anymore.
No, we've gotten past it. So it's not even about the mailboxes. It's
this Millennial Boom episode just bothers me.
No, it's the truth. I mean, it's 100.
No, I know
100 episode, but we're going to get into some of the
truth. It's the truth, and that's why it bothers me.
But and I've had my run-ins with different groups and different people and different times, and sometimes it's law enforcement, sometimes it's a regular citizen, sometimes it's just somebody who wants to be in charge. I've had lawyers tell me that if you put me on camera, I'm going to sue you, and I said, I tell you what, here's a phone, you can call my lawyer. I'll call it for you. Because they want me, they figured if I say the magic suit word, everything gets shut down. As if I don't know the law already. People have this expectation that if you videotape me, I need to sign a waiver. That is not true. You're out in public. If you're out in public, you can be videotaped. And there's no expectation, there's no unreasonable expectation of privacy. Unreasonable meaning that if you go into the bathroom, I can't walk in there with a camera and go, "Hey, you taking a poop?"
Well, that's private property.
No, it's privacy.
Privacy.
You can't have them in dressing rooms. You can't have them in places that you wouldn't expect privacy at. You close the door in the bathroom, you have privacy. And the craziest part is that and I've been called the N-word from every race there is out there, not just white people. I've been called the N-word from the Latin community, from the Asian community, from the white community, and then I get two sides of it. So on one side, I have the one side who says I'm a sellout because I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm a sellout. I'm an Uncle Tom. I'm this. I'm that. And the other side says, "Oh, you just got the job because they need to hire. They need to meet their quota.
They need to fill a quota." Yeah.
So it's the only reason why you get your job is because they need to fill a quota. So you're not really an employee. You're just somebody that they need to have in there so that they don't look like they don't hire minorities. Like when people hand me their car keys and tell me to park their car. You've seen that happen. When you get done, can you park my car too? I'm like, I'm not a valet. Well, what are you doing here? Oh, I didn't know you eat this kind of restaurant. Well, what kind of restaurant do I eat at?
I can't even laugh about that right now.
What do you think about cops being rewarded for things that never happened? Well, we can get deep in that one, but that's a deeper conversation. I'm not even going to go there today because we're almost about to wrap up. It's already been almost an hour, but we can have that conversation one day. It's interesting that some people have their mind made up, and no matter what you tell them, their mind. And some of my closest friends have their mind made up about certain instances that never happened.
Yeah.
It never happened.
Wait, and hold on, Gabriel, just so you know, I think you told Betty Veronica this, but just so you know, we didn't actually break up 8 times. That was totally
That was a joke.
It was totally just a joke.
We just want to see if you would repeat it.
That never happened, Betty Veronica. So
We never broke up, Betty. Although that one time when I married you, Betty Roberts. That one time. But then we got annulled like 4 minutes later. When we had Twix and we married with Twix.
Oh my gosh, married with Twix.
Fast episode, everyone. You know, I went by fast because we had some great stories to tell.
Yeah,
And
you had some stories that tugged at my heartstrings.
well, it's truthful stories. And the funny part is, you know me. I'm not known to make up stories. Even though I may laugh about something, it's usually there's some truth to it. There's usually truth to a story. If I tell it to you, I may take the names out to avoid the people who are involved. But in my 30 years in the broadcast, I've seen more things that you have ever seen. Like I told somebody the other day, I've seen more ways there ought to be killed. Shot, stabbed, run over, burned to death, plane crash, you name it, I've seen it. I got an Emmy nomination for the North Hollywood Shootout because
you should have won that.
I should have won, but I don't. It's not about winning awards. I got nominated. I'm happy with that. Sitting over here right now, I have 4 golden mics from TV, and I got 4 boxes of awards that I haven't even unpacked yet.
I know, and we've lived here for almost 4 years.
I got a Benz that I ain't even drove yet. Who's that from?
Because you haven't even bought it yet.
Who's that?
Because we can't. Biggie?
Nas.
Oh no.
I got a Benz that I ain't even drove yet.
Oh.
Anyway.
I don't think you said it correctly.
Well, you know what, Radar? If I could do a state-by-state show, I would love to, but that's a lot of money.
Well, Gabriel says he'll chip in for Ohio if you stop by Ohio.
Well, okay, you got to pay for 2 weeks of hotel, rental cars, insurance, drones. So chip in. That's a lot of chipping in, homie.
You don't have to tell me that.
I'm telling him.
You're looking at me as you say that.
I'm saying, homie.
I'm just, as long as you don't look at it.
Yeah, exactly. Anything else?
Say something.
You want to hear any more? You want to hear a funny story?
I would like to hear something that would make me laugh, so I don't want to cry after we get off of this.
You mean like a funny story for me covering stories?
No, just a funny story.
I think the best. People always ask me, "What's the best story?" I say I've done over 3,000. It's kind of hard to name them, but the one that really got me the best was Carlos Santana and Marcus Malone. That was a good story. It was and my best stories are unexpected stories. I don't go out there to find it. It just finds me. And because I dig into something, I bring it out and I want to find out what's really going on. That was a good story. To this day, people are still texting me, "Hey, are you the guy that found Marcus Malone?"
That was like 9 years ago.
And people are still like, and I had calls from like major entertainers that called me or texted me or emailed me and says, "Hey, I love what you did. Thank you."
Mm-hmm.
And Carlos Santana called me an angel, but he didn't like the fact that I did people behaving badly. He wanted me to do something different because he's all about positivity. And I get that. But sometimes you have to show the negative to affect change.
And that's also how, okay, I was going to say something nutrition-wise, but I was going to say you have to be able to inflame in order to anti-inflame. That's what that reminds me of.
So, yeah,
okay.
Can't Nobody Hold Me Down, Puff Daddy. That's what the song was. So,
oh, dang, Master Wells just showed up when you did the lyrics.
I know, huh?
Didn't even realize he was watching.
Boom, shot. That's what I'm talking about, the hidden in the background. So, yes, Gabriel. So I had several stories picked up by CNN, 2020, Inside Edition, Rolling Stones, People Magazine. I've been on People Magazine, Rolling Stones Magazine, 2020, CNN. 2020 flew me out on just before your birthday.
Yeah.
A bunch of different places that feature me one way or another, and not all for the same story. So 2020 flew me out for Elmo Shirt Guy. They flew me to New York to have a whole interview with him about
Inside Edition was also on.
Inside Edition was when we when we were in LA and we did Elmo Shirt Guy, but we also did
Carlos Santana.
That was inside CNN, and we had to turn a few down because we were on vacation. And ironically, and this is, I don't mean to make you upset, I was on vacation when the whole Carlos Santana thing went down. We went away. We went to Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
My phone would not stop ringing because it literally happened the day after.
That always happens when we're on vacation.
Ringing. And she said, put your phone down. Don't, stop answering the phone because we're here to have fun. And so I ended up doing interviews while we're on our vacation at 4 different places in LA. I had to go to these places, CNN Towers, Inside Edition Tower, wherever they had them at, Culver City. So I really didn't have a full-blown vacation. I was working. I get back to Kron and I said, hey, since I worked most of those days to promote the segment and promote what I was doing for Kron, can you pay me for those days? And they said, nope, you're on your own. You don't get paid for that. Happened in 2020 as well. I didn't get paid for it. It was on my own. And when I posted videos on YouTube, I did it on my own time. I never monetized it. I never asked for money for it. I just posted them so that people can watch them. And then when I know.
You have to tell me, you have to end this
Something
funny.
Nice. All right.
Because
sorry.
I'm told you I'm getting bothered again.
All right. That's a valid question, but that's shady. Yeah, it is. I saw an older man that resembled Stanley at Safeway last week. But when I got closer, the man had at least a decade or 2 on Stanley.
A decade or 2? Sheesh.
So, yeah, a decade or 2. So, there we go. A happy story is, of course, the kid with Christmas. Santa. That was always fun. Or bikes, helmets or ass. It's always a funny one. We talked about that before. I think, my favorite story, one of my favorite was, the odds of being caught twice doing the same crime?
The same person?
The same person. It's pretty infinitesimal.
Yeah, so you caught the same person doing the same crime?
So we caught him carpool violation on Wednesday, and then we caught him on a car violation on Thursday.
The next day,
the same people.
So he didn't learn?
They didn't learn.
So he got 2 tickets?
2 tickets.
450 apiece?
No, he was like 491.
So then it was like $1,000.
Yes, same person twice.
And what did they say to you?
I got caught behaving badly.
Oh my God. Were they mad?
No, I mean, what are you gonna do? I didn't stop him. People get mad because people used to get mad at me. Oh, he just stopped me because I'm black. I'm like, bro, you think I'm in the car? And he goes, hey, look at those black people. Let's stop them. Do you really think that's the conversation we had in the car? Do you really think that is the problem? Thank you, Jason. Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you, Jason.
Woohoo! Pay this man. I love it. Thank you for the $10. We appreciate it. It'll go a long way towards helping us keep this thing going. Do you really think that that the cop stopped you because we had a conversation in the car? He goes, hey, look at those black people over there. Let's pull them over. Do you really think that's our conversation?
Some people would like to think that.
Or
because that makes them feel better because they don't know who to get mad at. They don't want to get mad at themselves because they're the ones that.
And I said, well, no, bro, you ran a stop sign. You weren't wearing a seatbelt. And the car smelled like weed coming everywhere. What do you think's going to happen? You're driving while smoking weed. Oh, yeah, well, I guess you're right. My bad. I'm sorry. But why would you even go with the whole?
Because they needed someone else to get mad at because they didn't want to get mad at themselves. Take a deep breath of fresh air.
Yes. I need a beer. We're going to have what time
What
the game
is
start?
this?
Oh, that's a diamond. That's a somebody sent us 5 cheers.
Oh,
thank
I love
you.
that. V John SF.
I don't see the cheers here, but thank you, V John. Thank you for showing that.
Yeah.
We don't see it. She sees it. Thank you, V John, for the 5 diamonds. I don't know what that means, but we'll figure it out later. Thank you again, Jason, for super chat. We didn't see the money you guys have been dumping in there. YouTube hasn't set it off yet because it takes a while for it to build up. So we haven't gotten it yet, but I'm sure at some point we will. But thank you. He doesn't know what it means either, but he wrote. But thank you anyway. We really look, guys. It's been 100 fun-filled episodes. We've taken you on the road with us.
We've taken you while I've fallen out of my chair laughing at some really stupid things.
Pea Soup Anderson.
That's true. Yep.
No, Las Vegas.
We were in the car for Pea Soup Anderson.
No, I know. We did it in the car. We were driving from Pea Soup Anderson. We were on our way. We stopped and we did on it. Remember our first one was done on the phone?
And I think a few of them were done on the phone. And you were looking up our nostrils.
Remember when we were in San Diego? We did it by phone in the lobby of the hotel.
Yep, in the lobby of the hotel.
We didn't do it.
We did our podcast. Who said that?
No, I'm saying that, because you did it. We the game's starting, so we're gonna start to lose people pretty soon.
That's okay.
But we've done it. Where else have we done? We've done a podcast from places.
We should do one at the beach.
But remember the one we did in Vegas, and then we got dinged
Oh yeah, when
by 5 different.
when Master Frieza was in the background, yeah, because of the music.
So here's a question, and I thank you for asking that, Radar. If you go to let me see if I can post it real quick.
Do you have merch to purchase?
Yes, we do, and let's see if I can show you here. I'm gonna put a link up for you.
Oh, Sherry's so sweet. Hi, my favorite couple.
So that's our link to Linktree, Mr. Badley TV. On that link, I'll leave it up so you can write it down or you can type it. You can go there and you can find all the links you need to do anything you want to do to help us, support us. There's everything on there. And while we're trying to get this thing moving, it's a process, but we do appreciate everything you've done, and we appreciate you guys being with us for 100 episodes.
100.
100.
0, add another 0.
Yeah, really?
Add another 0 next to my hand. There you go.
All right.
100? That doesn't look like 100.
Whatever. Anyway, so Linktree, Mr. Badley TV. There's apparel. There's gear. Go to if you want some official apparel. Go to Greensboro. Those are the embroidered ones. They're a little more expensive.
Green or Queen?
Queensboro. Thank you.
Okay.
They're a little bit more expensive, but they're embroidered and they're very They're very good quality.
That's also on the Linktree, right?
On the Linktree.
Jason says, "Would you ever write a book when this is all done?"
I thought about writing a book called "My Life Revolved Around People Behaving Badly," but then someone stole it. 100. Yeah.
There's a book called that?
No, not stole the book.
Oh.
Stole the name.
Oh.
Oh yeah. 100.
100.
Yep. Whoa, we've been through a lot.
We have one more. Are we gonna do one more?
Well,
100
actually,
more episodes?
We're gonna try to do 100 more.
Okay, so we just have to let you know that for the next 3 weeks?
Next 3 weeks.
Next 3 weeks.
I don't know how to do that, Radar. If I can figure it out, I'd love to have my own shop on Amazon.
Oh, I think I know. I think I can help you figure out how to do that.
What, you, Mrs. Boomer?
Well, technically.
You can't even talk. You can't even type on your phone.
Technically, that's a little false. I can type on my phone. Technically, that's false.
Yeah, it's funny how our 100 episodes is blurry. We're so drunk out of excitement.
Also, the thing is I'm not quite a boomer. I don't wear glasses, but you have glasses on, so.
Oh, you think that's gonna make a difference?
Oh, now it's really blurry.
Woo! All right.
No,
Sorry for the blurriness, guys.
So I was gonna say, so for the next 3 weeks.
My life after being a escaped convict.
Oh.
So next 3 weeks, we probably will not be on only because family on the road. Probably if we do it, it might be like pop on with the cell phone, like the old days, if we can.
Yeah. So we'll keep you posted.
But most of the days,
most likely
we're on the road on those days.
Yeah.
And we love you too, Radar. Thank you. You're not the Radar from MASH, are you?
I didn't really watch it. I didn't really watch it.
Are you the one that protects the freeway where a sign says freeway patrol by Radar?
Oh gosh, we've got to get this guy. We've got to get this guy new jokes. What's this?
I'm clapping because we're happy. I gotta get me new jokes.
Oh,
he said nope.
Nope. 3 weeks. What am I gonna do for the next 3 Sundays listening to my favorite podcast?
Who wrote that?
Jason.
Well, Jason, we'll try to figure something out.
Yeah, we'll try to figure it out. But we're just giving you a warning just in case.
So yeah, Radar for MASH. Look, I got Marshall in there going, "Oh, Radar for MASH, that's funny." So we got graduation. Oh, we got a funeral too, man. He rest in peace. We went to a wedding 4 years ago.
Yeah, our friend
got married 4 years ago, and her newly married husband, died, and he's having a funeral next month in San Jose. So we're going to be at a funeral, and then my youngest is graduating has prom.
Yeah,
and graduating
and
high
it's
school.
Also my mom's birthday.
And her mom's birthday.
So we've got a few things lined up.
Crunch.
Yeah. So
family first. If you want to pitch into the family trip, we definitely take donations. Because this is going to be a credit card event.
Stop.
I'm serious, for real. Yeah. On the real. No, just kidding. But if you want to pitch in.
Gabriel says do one in the middle of the week.
Somebody wrote Go Warriors.
Yes, go Warriors. Yes, Coy, go Warriors.
Well, you know what? I will say this, that because she supports the Warriors, I give her grief, but I will support them for her.
Thank you.
until they lose.
Also, who gonna be in the NBA Finals? Radar. You know what? I was watching that Heat Celtics game last night. The Heat might take this. The Heat might take it, and it's going to be the Heat Warriors.
So you know the Celtics in Latin means cold, right?
No,
so the Heat beats cold.
No. I was hoping the Celtics.
So what's Celtics?
I was hoping the Celtics would win at home at least.
Celtics
but
means in Latin.
So I think it's going to be Heat Warriors. That's what I think. And then obviously I think the Warriors are going to take the whole thing. So, what can I say? Gotta have faith. Because my name's Diane Faith.
Hold on.
Did you hear my?
No, I'm ignoring you.
Really?
Yes. So Celtics definition: cold air, relating to the Celts in a language which constitutes a branch of Indo-European family, which includes Irish, Scottish, Gaelic, Welsh, Britain.
Where'd you get cold air
Cornish. From? Well, because it's cold in up there on a regular basis. Scott, you ever been to Scotland? You know how cold it gets up there.
I've never been to Scotland before.
You know why?
I've been to Boston, though.
My cousin from Boston.
Okay, now he's just getting delirious.
All right.
Isn't it really cold in Boston, Jason? It is very cold in Boston.
Yeah, so Celtics equals cold. So Heat beats cold. I'm going with that one.
All right. Well, I still think that's probably going to be Heat Warriors. I would like to actually see it be Celtics Warriors.
And don't worry about it, Marshall. We're not going to give out the score because we don't even have the TV turned on.
Oh yeah, the TV's not turned on. I did Google the score though, so I did look at it.
So you were distracted.
You didn't even notice.
Oh, I did.
No, you did not.
Did.
No, you did. No, you did not. Ow! I didn't look at yours. I didn't look at yours. I didn't look at your. I didn't look at yours.
She did this on her leg and she got me.
Yeah, but I didn't look at yours though.
How'd you know? How you don't have one?
Because I could see it from the corner of my.
What's the word? The key word there?
Corner.
See. I could see it. So it means you saw it. All right, guys. We love you guys all.
Oh, Celtics. Oh no, Radar. Do you want to put money on that? Celtics and Warriors. Celtics win by 10 points.
You gotta. When do you start gambling?
No, we're not putting money on that. But I best believe it's the Warriors, and the Warriors will probably, if it's Celtics and Warriors, the Warriors are going to win by 20.
Yeah, we know we're blurry. We don't know why, D-man. We have no idea.
You guys are so blurry.
I know.
We're really so blurry.
We are so blurry. We don't even know why. Watch this though. She's not blurry, but I still am.
Thanks for holding me up this time. Not just letting me fall.
It's the Matrix.
All right. So Gabriel says do one in the middle of the week.
Well, we don't figure out why our camera's blurry.
And also in the middle of the week I have class.
You have no class.
I have class.
You have no class.
So
I know you. You have no class.
We shall see. But okay. Don't cut me off.
I'm not.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see you in.
We love you guys.
The next couple of weeks. We love you guys.
I'm a millennial.
I'm a boomer. No, he likes to cut me off, so I'm looking to make sure he's not pressing the button.
This was our 100th episode of blurriness.
100th. Switch places. See who's blurry. Radar says.
Nah, that's all right. I'm not wearing any pants.
Oh, you know what we should? Yeah, you are. You know what we should do?
How come I act like a joke and you're not giving it away?
You know what we should do? The next episode, I sit there and you sit here.
It'll mess up Gabriel's brain. His Uber mother dada will go crazy.
His what?
The little stem in your back of your brain.
Oh gosh. All right. Anyways, bye guys. Have a good week. Go Warriors. Woo woo. Yeah.
Yeah. If we do come up, we'll let you know on the real.
On the real.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Millennial Boom with Diane Faith and Stanley Roberts. Millennial Boom and Reasons Why Aliens Will Never Invade Earth and Caught Misbehaving videos are made possible through viewer donations. Check out www.linktree.com/MrBadleyTV to see how you can help. See you next week.